So I just wanted to show you, before we get started, just how many brushes I've got. This is brushes I've already, or that I like put aside because I've got nowhere to put. These are ones I've already started to declutter. These are what my brushes are usually in. These are all Terry Mia Hero brushes, and then like these down here. All clean brushes. So this is what we're tackling today. We're doing a brush collection and declutter. I do need to declutter a lot of these. I have a lot of brushes, but I love a lot of brushes. It's hard when you want to try a lot of brushes and use a lot of brushes, and you're also a person who doesn't like to wash their brushes on a regular basis, so you buy more brushes to avoid cleaning more often. Like, that's me. I don't like to clean brushes. I like to I just like to buy more so that way I have to clean less frequently, but then when I do have to clean, it takes me like 3 days, which is what happened last time. I washed like all these brushes and it took like 3 nights. So this is what we're going to get into. I guess I can start with the brushes that I've already started to declutter. Like, these have been, I've had these put aside for a while because they're just not brushes that I'm using. So like, I don't use these kind of like angled brushes like this. My brushes are, I've got a lot of different companies, a lot of Real Techniques, a lot of Eco Tools, some Sedona Lace, which were some of my first brushes that I bought. What else do we have in here? We have Jack's Beauty Line. We've got Alima Pure brushes, MOTD brushes. So instead of linking like every individual brush that I've got in here, because that's not going to be possible, I'll link the brands below. So you guys can check out the brands, and I'll just sort of like highlight my favorite brushes. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, like description wise, but I don't use brushes like these sort of angled contour blush brushes. I just don't use them. I do have a couple of more that I do need to get rid of. So that's one that's going away. I also don't use these like kabuki style brushes anymore, and I have quite a few that I've like amassed over the years. So these are all going away. Let's see, what else do we have in here? So here's another one of those angled brushes. This is an old Fit Glow brush. I am keeping a few, but some of these like older, or some of those kind of style, I just don't use. Here's another kabuki. These are a little bit dirty because I had these under the sink and Oliver was playing with these because he wanted to play with my brushes, and I didn't want him playing with my good brushes, obviously. So here is an angled foundation brush. Just don't use brushes like these. This Expert Face brush from Real Techniques. It's just too small for me, I think. I'm just trying to highlight. I don't know that I necessarily want to get rid of this one. This is the Real Techniques powder brush. I'm going to put it to the side for a minute. This, I don't even know why I bought. This is the bronze, no, it's the domed bronzer from Eco Tools. I don't think they make this anymore, and I think it was sort of like, it's supposed to be like a body. Is this supposed to be like a body bronzer brush? I don't know. I have another Eco Tools bronzer brush that I like better, so that one's going away. This is like a large paddle style from Sedona Lace. I don't think they make this anymore either, and I don't even know what you do with this kind of brush. So, also flat foundation brushes, just don't use them. And there's a lot of different like eye style brushes in here. So like some of the eye styles that I don't really use. I don't use these like angled ones hardly ever. So there's a lot of besides hair. Here's another like flat concealer. This is like a pointed liner. Again, I just don't use, though I feel like I should keep at least like one. So I'm going to put that to the side. This is another angled sort of like liner brush. This one's, yeah, angled liner. Here's another Bare Essentials Max Coverage Face. Yeah, back when I used to have, this one's frayed. Back when I used to do Bare Minerals. This is like a flat top concealer brush. I just have other concealer brushes I like better. I just have so many. Here's another angled. These are Everyday Minerals. I haven't bought Everyday Minerals in a while. This is another concealer brush, but again, I've got other concealer brushes I like better. So I'm getting rid of that. Here's another like liner style. This is a 100% pure brush. I never really liked this. I think it's, what is this? It's like a eyeshadow brush, but it's so frayed. I don't know if you can tell. Not the best quality. Here's another liner, another angled liner, another sort of like angled contour, eye contour, whatever. Another angled, sorry, there is a lot of hair in here. I'm gonna put some of these things to the side because I might go through them again, but yeah, there's a lot of these kinds of brushes that I just don't use. So this is my starting declutter. I'm just gonna put this over here so it's like off to the side, and then we can go through some of these other things. So those are maybes for now. So I found this when I was going through my eye collection. These are all like mini, sort of like travel size eye brushes. I'll probably just keep those around because there's like blender brushes, eyeshadow brushes. I do have another one over here somewhere that I washed. Yeah, I used this one recently. It's another one of those mini eyeshadow brushes. So I'm just gonna stick all of those in here and then put this off to the side. Okay. So what else have I got? Oh, this actually somehow didn't make it into the washing. This needs to be done. This is the Buffing Base Boss. Should I do like, I don't know how to do this. Well, here's one I can get rid of. This is the Everyday Minerals blush. I just don't like this blush style. I never use that. This I think I can go ahead and get rid of because I used it like once or twice. It's the it's like supposed to be like an artist dupe or something. It's from Real Techniques. It's like the blend and blur or something. I used it once and I just didn't really care for it, so I'm gonna get rid of that. This I do like. This is the EcoTools Ultimate Buff. That's good for like cream and stick products, so I am keeping that. Maybe I'll try to break this down into categories. So like these are like base brushes right now. These are blush brushes, and I've got eye brushes over here. I'll try to organize this into categories, and then we can sort of go through it by category, and then maybe that's how we do it. Okay, I honestly don't know the best way to do this. I've got all of my eye brushes here and here. So I guess what I'm gonna do is, I'm pretty sure I'm keeping all of these. I guess I'll just sort of go through and speed through them and then talk about the ones that I'm gonna like get rid of, I guess. And then I'll just like show you briefly the ones that I'm keeping. A brush declutter and organization is kind of like, I don't know, it's very hard because there's so many like individual products. And then like talking about each ones, I don't know, I guess I can like mention my favorites and stuff, but I guess I'll just sort of go through this pretty quickly, speed through it so you can see. Hear the clicking because I love that sort of like, you know, clicking noise on fast motion. And then we'll talk. Okay, so as far as what I'm getting rid of, it's a lot of these angled ones again. I just don't use them. This is a really small blender brush. I like don't know what that would be good for. This sort of like double-sided brush, I haven't used in a long time. I've got enough of these brush and lash thingies. Pencil style. I think this is actually a concealer, but I don't use this style of brush anymore. And then just more of these like blender styles that I just don't use or just seem really flimsy, or that I have enough of. This is another one of the old Fit Glow styles. I think it's like a pencil, I don't know what it is. And then what I'm keeping, so I've got a lot of Real Techniques brushes. I do really like the Real Techniques eye brushes. Do I have any other Real Techniques in here? I think that I have one of these. It's like this weird duo fiber eye brush. When would I ever use this? I wonder if this would be good for like those Kosas 10-second eyeshadows. I might keep that and try it with those and see if it works with those. This somehow escaped the washing. This is the detailer brush, but I use it for like lip products. So this actually needs to get washed. So I'm gonna put that up there. You know, I've got my Modern Minerals, at least two of them. I'm not sure where the other one is. I know there's a third one. Oh, it's the angled brush, which I don't really use that much. So I've got my two Modern Minerals. I did keep this duo-ended Eco Tools one. I do like this one. I did keep some like detailer, or this is brow. So I've got a lot of brow, like brow spoolies. I do like to have some of those. So I did keep a couple of like detailer things, like a flat eyeliner style, which I use for like under the eyes sometimes. I've got like one liner, and then this is the detailed liner, just to like place color in some places. I kept a lot of blending style brushes because I do love, let's see, are there any more? I do love a good like shadow, like blending. I've got a couple of other blendy things. So like here's a blending brush, blending. So some blending brushes. I've got some like flat, like pigment placers. I have been doing a lot of that lately, so I did keep a bunch of those. There's like a fluffy shadow. This is another sort of like pencil style. Delium tools. I haven't bought them. I only have a few of those. And then this is another Sedona Lace sort of like detailer. And then the Fit Glow. This one actually might not be, this one might be the Shape and Illuminate. And I accidentally just threw it in here. But like in this one, there's a lot of the same. These are the brushes that I use the most frequently. So I've got a lot of blending brushes in here because I use, you know, blending brushes the most. So there's a lot of Eco Tools. There's a lot of MOTD, Sedona Lace. I have quite a few. This I'm gonna get rid of, I think. This is the Come Through and Contour from MOTD. Am I gonna get rid of it? Eat my words. So here's another, this is the Miss Shady Lady. Blending Bestie, lots of blending brushes. Miss Shady Lady. I'm trying to find, here's another sort of like blending style from Delium Tools, another blender. This is the Fit Glow blender and shadow brush. There's some pencil styles in here. There's some, you know, there's more spoolies in here. There's some smudgers. What else is in here? Yeah, just like that kind of style. I use a lot of flat packer brushes. I use a lot of like liner smudger, like, where's my favorite one so I can show you? This one, the Sultry Smudge from MOTD, is the best under eye liner brush, or like eyeshadow placer brush is the best. I love that so much. Yeah, there's a lot of flat packer styles. There's a lot of, you know, shadow brushes. There's a lot of smudgy brushes, a lot of blenders. These are like my favorites, and these I've sort of kept as like backup for like when these are all really dirty. I've got like some extras. So I will be keeping all of these. I know that's a lot, but I really hate washing my brushes, especially after like doing an eyeshadow look. Like if I don't wash my brushes for a couple of months, which is typical, I do like to have options and like, you know, not wash the same set of brushes every week. So that's eye brushes. This I'm keeping. I'm just gonna keep out for now. I guess I'm gonna I can go through this first because I'm gonna get rid of a lot of these. So this is my Terry Miyahira collection, which I've actually never used any of these. So Terry Miyahira used to do a beauty box, and she included brushes in pretty much all of the boxes. And then she stopped, and I don't think there's ever like a complete set. So a lot of these things I'm gonna get rid of, like the flat foundation brush, this like angled contour brush, this sort of like, it's supposed to be like a contour style, but I just don't use brushes like these. This is another sort of like sculpting. I'm gonna put that to the side. This fan brush, I have enough of these. I don't need more of them. I've got a couple, this one I have two of the same one. It's like these flat eye brushes. I don't need those. I can get rid of those. I do want to keep some of these eye brushes though. So like the blending brush, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep this other sort of like smaller blender. I'm gonna keep these like flat pigment packer ones. This is sort of like a detail brush, but I think I've got enough of those. This is like a bigger detail brush. Again, I think I have enough of those. I don't need that one. Another angled liner I don't need. Spoolie I'll keep because I just like to have the spoolies. Okay, so these three, I'm tempted to keep these two and get rid of this one because I don't think I would ever need this one. Like these I can use for powder, highlight maybe. I think I'm gonna keep these two, 4 and 5. I'm gonna keep those. And figure out what's next. So this is where I keep my blush brushes. So I do need to whittle down my blush brushes. These are the 3 that I have in here right now because the other ones were like drying. So this is the Fit Glow, you know, blush and contour one. I'm keeping that. This is the Real Techniques blush. I am keeping that. And then this is the Alima Pure blush brush. I do really like that one. So some other, here's a flat foundation brush I can get rid of. Some other blush brushes. Let's see what I can find in here. So here is the pointed blush from Eco Tools. I'm gonna keep that. Here is a Sedona Lace Kabuki. I can go ahead and get rid of that. Here's a couple more I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that I was holding on to. I just never use these. It's these Bare Minerals Hydrate and Brighten. I don't really, I don't need those. So these are ones I had set aside as blush brushes, so we can go through these. So I had these in there originally. I think I'm gonna keep this one. This is the Real Techniques, I don't know, 403. It's the Rebel Edge Medium. This one can be used for blush, but this big one, I don't know what I would use this for. I wouldn't use this for like bronzer or powder or anything, but this one I could definitely use for blush. So I'm gonna keep that one, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I mean, it's fun, but like, what the heck? I've never used it. I don't know what I would do with it. I also have a couple of stippling brushes from Real Techniques that I like to use for cream products, so those are definitely staying. Here's a couple of angled brushes I can go ahead and get rid of. This is the Antonym angled brush, and then this is the Red Apple Lipstick angled brush. I just don't use. I don't like that angled style of brush. So this is the Eco Tools Ultimate Pop. This is for like cream blushes again. So I'm gonna keep that. And then I've got a lot of these Eco Tools blush brushes because honestly, this is like my favorite style of blush brush and they don't make it anymore. So it's the tapered, these are the tapered blush brushes. They don't make this style anymore, but I am gonna keep those because that's my favorite. And then I've got the Define, which is, I guess, not for blush. And then this is the Precision blush, which isn't really, these aren't like my favorite. I much prefer this tapered style of blush brush. I've also got this multitasking brush, which I was using for blush. I have this Real Techniques 300. It's like one of this, I never use this either, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. It's just a weird style. And then I have this Antonym powder brush, which I was using for blush, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that as well. I don't know what to do about these. Do I wanna keep, I feel like I wanna get rid of this one. This is the Precision blush, because I just don't like that style really. And then I've got the Define, which really should be used for like contour, I guess, but I can probably use this for blush. And then I'll keep this around as well for like cream. Can I get both in here? All right, I can get both in here, so I'll keep both of them. So this is my blush brushes for the time being. That's all of them. And then eye brushes. So I really, what I need is I need one for like highlighters, bronzers, contour, things like that. And then I need one for like foundations. So if you can't tell, I like to use candle holders as brush holders. So I'm gonna put anything that's sort of like a bronzer or a highlighter brush in here for now. And then like concealer brushes and foundation brushes will stay in there. Okay, so I'll talk through what I've got in here first before we get on to this stuff over in this direction. So I've got the Jack's Beauty Line bronzer brush or powder brush. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm gonna use it as a bronzer brush. This is the Duo Fiber Face Brush, which I like to use for bronzer. This is the Sculpting Brush from Alima Pure, which I like to use for bronzer. And then I have the Jack's Beauty Line highlighter brush. So those are the brushes I have in here so far. And you know what? Let's just continue on with those before we get on to the other kind of brush. So this is that Illuminate and Shape brush. I'm gonna keep that. This is the Eco Tools Gleaming Highlighter brush. I'm gonna keep that. Okay, so here's a few other things I have. So I've got this e.l.f. small tapered brush, which I use for like highlighter. The MOTD Lightning Crew, which is for highlighter, and then the Sculpt. I'm gonna put this one to the side. This is the Eco Tools Buffing Bronzer, which I do love, keeping that. This is the Eco Tools Blending and Bronzing, which is amazing, keeping that. I don't need both of these, and I think I'm only gonna keep the Eco Tools one and not the Sedona Lace one, because this one is gigantic. I don't need a fan brush that big, so I'm gonna keep the Eco Tools one. I don't ever use this. This is the contour brush from Real Techniques. And then, so I guess I'll keep this one. I'll keep the Supermodel Sculpt from MOTD and the Duo Fiber Contour Brush from Real Techniques. And I do have way more like base brushes than I have anything else. So this is gonna get interesting. So what's in here right now? So I have a couple of the Real Techniques buffing brushes because I love these for powder foundation. I'm definitely keeping both of those. I have the buffer, the Perfecting Buffer and the Precision Buffer from Clove and Hollow, keeping those. I've got the concealer brushes from Jack's Beauty line. If I can find the third one, here it is. So this one is for cream, liquid. This one is like sort of more setting, or like for powder. And this one is for more setting. I'm keeping all three of those because I really, really love them. This is the Ultimate Cover. So it's like the cream for like cream and stick concealer. This is the Conceal Your Secrets from MOTD, which is amazing. This one is an Ilia brush for concealer, which I don't think they make this anymore currently, but I'm still gonna keep that because I really like it. This is the Alima Pure Foundation brush, which is great for their foundation powder. This is more of like a setting brush, so I'll keep that to the side for now. Like for powder, we'll just stick to concealer and foundation at the moment. This is the Jack's Beauty line foundation brush, which is beautiful. This is the Sedona Lace 217, which I use for concealer. Here is another powder brush. Oh, this is the Fit Glow concealer brush, keeping that. This is another brush I use for powder. The, what is this? These are the Eco Tools Angled Foundation and Full Coverage Concealer, which I do like both of those. We've got the Beauty and the Base, which I think you're supposed to use for powder foundation, because I do also have the Buffing Base Boss, which I think is for liquid. I am gonna keep both of those. This one does need to get washed, though it got missed. We've got the Real Techniques Setting. I'm gonna put that in with my blush actually, because I kind of use it more for highlighter than for setting. I've got the Sappho Concealer Brush, the Modern Minerals Foundation Brush, which I love with her foundation. This is the Era Perez Multi-Purpose Brush, which is great for their oat milk foundation and for their color pots. As you can see, we sort of have a problem. There's no way this is gonna fit in here. And then this is the Ultimate Buff, which is great for, like I said, cream and stick foundations. This is the Vapor Foundation Brush. We've got the Second Skin Stipple from MOTD, which is good for powder foundation. I do have a couple of stippling foundation brushes. I mean, I could probably get rid of this one because I do like the MOTD one. And I do also have, you know, the Modern Minerals one, so I can go ahead and get rid of the Sedona Lace one. I also have the buffing brush from MOTD. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the Sedona Lace one. I just like MOTD better. I like their brushes better. I have this, the Well People Kabuki. I don't necessarily need this because I think it's in there for like, because it's not really dense enough for foundation and I don't really like using it for bronzer, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I don't need that. Here's another powder brush. This was like a set. So these three things came together. So it was like the mix foundation. I don't know that I really need to keep, because I don't really use foundation brushes like this, though I feel like I should keep at least one just in case. So I'll go ahead and keep that one. So this is the Seamless Buffer, which I haven't tried this yet, but I do want to try this. And then this is like the foundation mixer. I usually mix foundations on the back of my hand, so I don't necessarily need this, but I can keep it in my closet. These are the Fit Glow powder and foundation brushes. These are amazing. I love these, but this doesn't need to go in here. I have the RMS, whatever this weird swirly brush is, and then this is like their highlighting kabuki. I do like to use this for the RMS highlighters, so I am keeping that. I don't have the top in here though. Then this, do I want to keep this or not? I don't know. This is a maybe. And then the last two things that I have are this sort of like style, which is similar to this Terry Miyahiro one. This one's denser though. And then I've got this Hint sort of like radiance powder. This again can probably go in like the blush. If it fits in there, yeah, I can put it in my blush one. So now I have to decide what goes in here and what can be like a backup for when I'm out of things. So I definitely want to keep the Lima Pure. I definitely want to keep the Jack's Beauty line. The Jack's Beauty line concealer brushes at least. The foundation brush can go to the side because I don't use that all the time. Conceal Your Secrets, I want to keep in here. These two can go to the side because I don't use my stick foundations all that much, but I do use them sometimes. The multitasking brush I do want to keep. It's got a couple of loose hairs. Let's pull those out. But so far, I mean, for the most part, I haven't really had shedding problems with any of these brushes. Just a couple of loose things here and there. The Fit Glow concealer brush I'm definitely keeping in there. The vapor brush I can put to the side. I can keep one of these in here, one of the buffer brushes, and then put one to the side because I don't need both at the same time. I want to keep the Cloven Hollow concealer and foundation brush in here. I definitely want to keep my Sedona Lace concealer brush in here. This can go to the side, the Sappho brush. What else? This can go to the side, this like angled foundation brush, because I don't use that all the time. This can go to the side and it just needs to be washed as well. Let's see, Beauty and the Base, Second Skin Stipple, these can go to the side. These things can all go to the side. These brushes here. This can go to the side. I want to keep my Modern Minerals foundation brush in there. These, and then these things can all go to this. Well, I do use this quite often. Okay, I'll put this in here, and then I'll put these things off to the side. So then lastly are these powder brushes. So I've got the Eco Tools medium powder. I've got a couple of Sedona Lace powder brushes, the Real Techniques powder brush, and then this is the, what's this, bronze. I mean, I guess I can put this in with my bronzers and highlighters and stuff and use it for that. So I want to keep, these two are the ones that I use the most. So I'll put these in here and then I'll put these off to the side. So this is now my base concealer and foundation and powder drawer. So I am keeping these things. This I'll probably put in my foundation drawer because there's really no place to put it, and I love this. This is so good for the Fit Glow foundation. So these are all the brushes I'm keeping just sort of like off to the side for when like my regulars are too dirty. And then these are all the ones that I'm going to be decluttering. So I have a lot that I'm decluttering. I feel good about this. I know I kept a lot, but I also decluttered a lot. Okay, here's so you can sort of see a little bit better what I'm keeping. So these are the extra eye brushes that I'm keeping. So they all fit in this like lid of the Boxwalla box, one of the smaller ones. These are all the face brushes that I'm keeping that are extra. So they fit in one of these like larger lids from the Boxwalla box, the travel brushes. So these are all the brushes that I'm going to get rid of. So they fit almost an entire gallon Ziploc baggie. And then 4 candle holders worth of brushes for like my daily stuff. So I don't think that's so bad. I mean, considering this is the amount of stuff that I'm going to get rid of and like find homes for. And these are like my backups, and those are the things that I usually use. I usually keep them by my sink, but I want to find a different place for them because obviously they get very dusty and hairy and dirty there. And I had these 3 things there before and not this 4th one, so the 4th one won't even fit up there. So I'm gonna try to find a way to fit them somewhere else. I don't know yet though, so I'm not gonna show you that because I don't really know where I'm gonna put them yet. But yeah, this is what I'm keeping. This is what I'm getting rid of. I'm pretty proud of myself. So, and then I just have to stop collecting brushes now. Which is hard for someone who loves to try like new brushes and like different brushes. And there's already a company that I have my eye on, hopefully that they're gonna go on sale like for Black Friday or something this year, and I could pick up like a set of those brushes. I think it's Complex Beauty. Those brushes are like really appealing to me, but I'm gonna try to not add too much to this because I do still have a lot of brushes. So yep, hope you enjoyed this. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.